You are enough. If no one has told you that, I'm telling you that. You are enough. You're beautiful. You can do it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree, and if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. And I just wanted to film a little chit chat video with you all. And today is Friday, February the 14th, and today is Valentine's Day. I like to call it Love Day because, you know, you can cultivate love from your family, friends. You know, you don't have to be in a relationship to experience love. You know, love is, you can experience from family, friends, parents, sisters, brothers, so forth and so forth. So I have tried to film this video so many times, y'all. So I was like, today is the day I'm gonna film this chit chat video and actually just do it because I filmed it in the car twice and I was gonna do a car chit chat, a hot mess. But anyway, that's besides the point. So today's Valentine's Day, and on my heart to discuss confidence and self-love. So I'm 29 years old, and I can finally say with my whole chest that I am confident in myself. I love who I am. And it has taken me all throughout my 20s to get to this point of self-love and to walk in confidence and be unapologetic and about who I am. And it has taken a lot of work. Throughout my whole 20s, I would say from 20 all the way to like 26 or 27, I really was doing the work. I was going through experiences, growing, you know, so many lessons throughout my 20s has taught me so much about myself, and it taught me things that I never dealt with when I was a teenager, insecurities. And so when I turned 25, on like my 25th birthday, I don't know, a shift happened at 25, and mainly because maybe my frontal lobe fully grew or developed, I don't know, but 25 was like where things started to click for me, in the sense of like, okay, why are you not confident in yourself? What do you need to address about you, Desiree, that are things that you need to work on? What do you need to address, and what do you need to work on so you can learn to love yourself? When I turned 25, that's when I really started to do a lot of inner work. I started to journal a lot more. I started to, you know, really sit with myself, and to, you know, I really wrote down things like what I'm insecure about, what are the things I need to work on, why I'm not confident in myself. At 25, that's where it started, where I really started to address the things that were causing me not to accept myself, to love myself, and that was game changer for me. And so we all go through different experiences, we all go through different things, our lives are different, we all experience life differently. And so because we have different life experiences, when it comes to developing self-love and confidence, it looks different for everybody. What I have noticed at 29 years old, and being a community college counselor, and just noticing about, you know, just, you know, other girls my age or even in their mid-20s, there's a lot of women especially young women, who are not confident in who they are. They lack self-love and they lack confidence, and I see that so frequently. And it's like, wow, like you're beautiful. Why don't you see that, right? Why don't you love that about yourself? You're beautiful in your own way. And so many girls struggle with self-love, and when you don't practice self-love and you don't walk in being confident in yourself, you end up putting up with things you have no business putting up with. You might be in an unhealthy relationship that if you were confident in holding yourself, you know, like, hey, I know my self-worth. Being in this unhealthy relationship is not for me, you know? So there's so many people who are struggling with self-love and confidence, and because they're struggling with it, they are probably in relationships and situations and that they have no business being in or should leave, or just like in toxic relationships. And because they don't have no self-worth and no self-love, they're putting up with just anything, negativity, a bad relationship with a person, maybe a friendship, they should have been left that friendship, you know. So if you know your worth, you're not going to put yourself in a predicament that lessens your worth, you know, that make you feel less than. I have been reflecting a lot about, you know, what it took me to get to this point, to be this Desiree, and to walk in my confidence. And for me, I wasn't always confident in myself. It just something that I have, my confidence has built up over time. And so it's because I have gone through so much. It has taught me a lot. And because I have gone through different situations and experiences, it has really taught me about, it has basically, I have learned to love myself. I have learned to walk in confidence. And so, you know, one thing, you know, growing up that I kind of struggled with was my body image, how I viewed myself, because I was diagnosed with chronic scoliosis. And so I never really felt comfortable in my body ever since I was a little girl. I always struggled because I had severe back pain and I had to wear a back brace for many years before I had my back surgery. So as a little girl, I remember just struggling with my body. I was in pain and I was in physical discomfort, and then I didn't like the way my body looked, you know. So I dealt with like severe body dysmorphia image wise. I view I view my body in a negative light and how I look. I never really liked the way I looked, right? And so I struggled since I was a little girl. In middle school and even in high school, I would compare myself to other girls that I went to school with. I'm like, oh, she has this, she has that, I like her body. And I would literally try to be like, oh, she had bangs, I'm gonna cut my hair and get bangs. Why I do that, y'all? I actually did that. Those bangs look so bad on me. Never again. I literally got China bangs. Okay, like Nicki Minaj, what's called Nicki Minaj bangs. Yeah, the bang wasn't for me. But it's because I saw this girl on campus, like in high school. The bangs look really good on her, so I thought they would look good on me. Child. And my mom was like, I was like, how does it look? And my mom was like, girl, it doesn't look bad. When they looked horrible. It looked horrible. It really did. You know, in high school, you're still discovering who you are, and right, you're discovering your look, you're discovering like what's for you, what's your personal style. And so I was just trying to figure it out, but I was so busy comparing myself to other girls and other people. And so high school, didn't really know who I was, right? Wasn't confident in who I am. And then the second thing is that I also struggled with, you know, just the way, you know, being diagnosed with a learning disability. And so I always felt like I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough, and I would see my peers just do so well in school. Everything felt like everything was so easy for other people, and when it came to academics, and then I'm over here, you know, everything is so difficult for me. And so I really struggled trying to I felt like I didn't know where I fit in. And so I really struggled learning. I really struggled just like navigating school. And when I went to community college, that was like the first time I felt like I was like, school felt like felt like a great experience because I was doing well in my classes. But then I transferred to UC San Diego and started doing horrible. And I worked so hard. I utilized all my resources and I was still failing. I was still not doing well in classes. And so I felt like I wasn't, like, when I transferred to UC San Diego, that experience was like really hard for me because I was around extremely smart people. Like, these people are like, when you go to a UC, especially like UC Berkeley or UC San Diego or UCLA, like, there's people so smart. They're like, they're just extremely smart, and I'm not that smart. Like, I'm smart, but I'm smart in my own way. And so it just, being in a classroom with 200 people, and it felt just like everyone around me is smarter than me, better than me. And so I felt so down. Like, I viewed myself to be not very smart, and I didn't, my self-image, how I viewed myself was so low. I had low self-esteem, especially when I was at UC San Diego, because I just felt like, oh my goodness, like I don't I'm not smart like these people that are in my classroom. Everyone's smarter than me. And so I dealt with not feeling good enough when it came to like my academics and being a student. I didn't feel good about my body. I felt I was always comparing myself to other people. I didn't like how, literally no guys were like really approaching me like that. I struggled like just with my self-esteem and self-confidence. And so because of those experiences and kind of all those things that I was going through when I was from a little girl all the way to my teenage years and early to mid 20s, took me a really long time to get to this point. And at 29 years old, I can confidently say that I love who I am. I love me. Being authentically you is such a gift that we all have, and that so sometimes we don't take the time to get to know who we are because we're so busy trying to seek validation from other people or try to get a guy attention, and we center ourselves for the male gaze and all these different things that I can speak as a woman that we go through. And I really want to encourage, for any teenage girl or a girl who's in her early to mid 20s who's struggling with self-love and self-confidence, even for my girlies who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who are still struggling with confidence and walking in who they are and being authentically themselves. I want to encourage you to do the work this year, to really sit down with yourself and identify why do you view yourself in a negative light? What is causing you to not be confident in yourself? Do you have childhood trauma? Did you not address something in your childhood? Do you need to go to therapy? Do you need to, what do you need to do in order to address certain issues and to address your self-image, like to address what is causing you not to be confident in yourself? And I can really say this, like, when you learn to love yourself, you walk in so much freedom. You have so much, like, you feel so good because you're like, hey, I'm not seeking validation from nobody, nothing. I love me. Loving me is enough. And confidence can take you places. Confidence can open doors for you, and when you're confident in yourself, you don't know who you can meet, you don't know what opportunities might come your way. And so confidence is key. Confidence is key in this life. If you don't walk in confidence and love yourself, then people are going to walk all over you. You need to sit down and really do some deep work, do some internal work. Like, you need to sit down with yourself, journal, write down 10 things that is causing you to have low self-esteem, that making you have a lack of confidence. And so I just see it so frequently. I see it with my students, I see it with people I know who just lack confidence. They do not love who they are. And so it saddens me because there's so many people who we all have potential in our own way. We all are meant to do something, make a difference in the world. We all have a purpose, but if you don't love who you are, then how could you make a difference in someone else's life? How can you walk in your purpose? I want to read an affirmation that was part of my January 31 days of affirmation. And so I want to read this affirmation that was part of like this little like kind of like virtual affirmation thing I signed up for in January. So every day in January there was a new affirmation, and so basically for January there's 31 affirmations, and then it was kind of like a journal prompt. Loved it. It was amazing. And so I want to read y'all one of my favorite affirmations and then kind of like what the prompt was. So the affirmation was, I let go of fear and welcome courage, strength, and confidence into my life. Woo! Let me read that again. I let go of fear and welcome courage, strength, and confidence into my life. And the prompt was like, what am I fearful of? What scares me? You know, what scares you? Like, what are you fearful of? What do you need to let go? What fear do you need to let go so you can welcome courage and you can welcome strength and confidence into your life? And this was a really great affirmation, and I've been sitting with this affirmation still because it's like, okay, what am I fearful of? And what is hindering me to be able to walk solely in my confidence and being courageous and just cultivating strength and courage and confidence in my life every single day? And so part of the kind of the affirmation practice was to write like kind of like a manifesto, like write a manifesto, kind of like a declaration, like kind of letter to yourself that talks about like, you know, writing a declaration about how you're going to cultivate courage and strength and more confidence in your life. It's really addressing, you know, the little things in your life and addressing them head on. I really love this affirmation, and I just like, I love it. And that's something that I've been working on, is just really like sitting with that affirmation. And I buy a journal every single year, and I, you know, use this journal to reflect, to, you know, do my Bible studies, like anything. I just do everything in my journal, and I love it because every time I look back at old journals from previous years and just reading previous journals and just seeing how far I have came a long ways. I am a lot more patient. I'm a lot more kind to myself and people around me. I'm a lot more positive when it comes to when things don't go my way. I have a positive outlook when I feel like my life is trembling down. I still have a strong positive mindset. And so I have came a long ways. And so I want to encourage you all to take 2025 and make this the year that you are on your self-love journey, that you identify what is causing you to not love yourself. You are enough. If no one has told you that, I'm telling you that. You are enough. You're beautiful. You can do it. Sometimes we have to affirm ourselves because the world might not affirm us. And I have learned that part of getting older is you learn to address things head on. You have to address what is causing you to not love yourself. I just want to encourage you all to keep going, to keep pushing on, to keep doing the work. If that's going to therapy, if that's, you know, rekindling relationships, if that's like, you know, reconnecting with God or giving your life to the Lord, like whatever, everything looks different for everybody, for every single one of us. But one thing that has made a difference in my life is my relationship with the Lord, my relationship with God, and how, because he loves me, he has forgiven me of my sins, he has died on the cross for me. I know that he loves me, and because he loves me, that is enough. And he wants me to walk in confidence and in strength and courage. And because I have the Lord in my life, I can confidently say that no matter what I go through, no matter what I've been through, he's been the reason why I've been able to get through every single situation. And so on this Valentine's Day, yeah, I'm single. I might not have a man and all that, but I am so loved. I am loved, and I love myself, and I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in Desiree. And it has taken me a lot of work. I have done a lot of work, a lot of inner work. I had to do a lot of work on myself to get to where I am right now. And so when I walk outside of my house, I walk with my head up high. I try to cultivate love all around me, and I try to treat people, even when they make me upset, even when they do something wrong to me, I try to cultivate love. I try to treat people how I want to be treated. And so you are enough, and you're beautiful, and you can do all things if you just put your mind to it. And so that's why I wanted to film this, I guess you could say, a little Valentine's little chit chat, love day chit chat. But I want to encourage you all to keep going. Do not give up. You are enough. Use 2025 to do the work, to stop ignoring the things that you've been not addressing, and to actually address the things that you need to address, so you can become a better person, so you can show up better in the world, and ultimately you can walk with confidence and just be secure in who you are. I hope you feel loved and encouraged after watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.